Mania has started, and you'll find slam dunk savings and selection during our Hoop Mania event at Capitol Ford in Santa Fe. We're celebrating our 60th anniversary all year long, and that means buzzer-beating incentives and special dealer offers, like a new 24 Ford Bronco Big Bend Sasquatch, lease for $499 a month. Or a new Ford F-150, now $1,500 or 2.9% APR during this Hoop Mania event at Capitol Ford in Santa Fe. Time when every dollar counts, Capitol Ford in Santa Fe is stepping up and offering employee pricing for everyone. Yes, employee pricing for everyone is now available on new Fords. You pay what Ford employees pay. Employee pricing means save up to $9,000 off MSRP on a new 25 Ford F-150, or save up to $4,800 off, plus 3.9% APR on a new 24 Ford Bronco. From America, for America. We're
Good evening. Welcome to Pit Press Live, another episode of Deep in the Dugout. I'm your host, Ed Nunez. Along with me, introduce my co-host, Erik Moulton, 2004 graduate of Capitol, or 2005 graduate, also a 2004 state champion with Capitol basketball team, played some small college baseball. I believe at Coach East. Is that right, Erik?
Played at Luna, and then I went to a small north or southeast college in Nebraska called Peru State, but you're close there, Ed. Okay. Happy to be on with you tonight, man.
No, it's good to have you on, and I think this is our third episode. We had Adriel Figueroa Brito from Sandia, and then Braden Reynolds last week from La Cueva. And so this week we've got two special guests. I don't know if you can bring them on, Erik, so we can introduce them. Our guest tonight on Deep in the Dugout are Eastern New Mexico outfielder Laney Lucero, who just concluded her softball career at Eastern New Mexico. Laney played in all 55 games in her graduate season. She was the top hitter on her team with an average of .414 and was the first team All-Lone Star Conference selection. Our other guest is her sister, Laney and Toni Lucero, who batted .319 this season as a freshman at Western New Mexico and was the third team All-Conference selection. Ladies, welcome to the show. Glad to have you both.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
That should be a very good show. And at least anybody said I have Western New Mexico bias. My co-host Erik will lead off the questions, and he's going to have a couple questions for you first, Laney.
Alrighty.
I hit lead off in college, so it's just appropriate, Ed, that I start with some of the first questions. But we're gonna start with Laney. Laney, you the older sister, just completed your graduate year at Eastern, batting a solid .414. You led the team with 75 hits, 13 doubles, 3 triples, 8 bombs. And we're top 10 in batting in the Lone Star Conference, which is a really good conference. You end up losing this year in the conference tournament to Angelo State, but beside that, tell us about your season.
Oh, it was amazing. Last year I kind of fell off a bit, and I knew I had an extra year. I had torn my knee at the end of my freshman year, so getting that the medical red shirt was huge. I was so. I know I needed to come back and end right. For me, I've been playing for so long, and I'm such a competitive athlete. I just couldn't go out with like the way I was last year. And, I really kind of dialed in on hitting. I dialed in on just kind of lifting and just, being me. Like, this is it. Like, I've been here for 5 years. Like, I couldn't just leave without kind of just putting my mark out there. But like, this year's been amazing. I mean, we had a great team, a lot of freshmen. I mean, we had a lot of impact in the lineup from freshmen, which was huge. So, but overall, like, this year was amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better year.
Yeah, that ACL injury, it's not an easy one to go through. It can completely derail a career, but you decided to continue playing, and you also 12, 12 stolen bases, and with that batting average, I mean, anyone who's played baseball, softball, you have to have a strong base. You have to have a good balance at the plate, and to be able to do that and steal bases, you didn't really set you back. Can you kind of walk us through what it was like kind of coming back from an injury like that?
Oh, it was hard. Like, I had never really had an injury. I mean, in high school, I kind of played through whatever. Like, I just didn't care. Like, I just wanted to play. And then in college, when I think it was more of like I had such I can, for some reason, my body's like weird and it will like produce, like, I can grow muscle really fast. And like that kind of got me a little bit. But it was hard. I mean, the comeback from it was really hard too. I mean, just having to relearn how to walk, how to just kind of get to a certain degree and go. I mean, and be comfortable with like playing without a brace. Like, I told myself, I was like, I'm not gonna play the brace. Like, I just couldn't. Like, I saw so many athletes like play with one, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be bad, but I was like, no, like I didn't want to. Like, it was just not me. Didn't feel comfortable. And so when I came back and like just after all of it, like from the training staff that we had here, the athletic training staff we had here, it was so amazing. They ended up helping me. I mean, I feel like I've done like some crazy things with ACL rehab, like overall. Like, I would do some weird things every day. I mean, practice all the time. I mean, it was definitely an experience though. Like, it taught me a lot. Just kind of being patient, like with coming back. I mean, I was so like on the go all the time. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, I just didn't want to stop. And then when I had to, like, they're like, okay, we need to pump the brakes, like one thing at a time. Like, it was hard, but overall, like I feel like I learned a lot from it. Like, just kind of to persevere through a lot of things. I mean, I didn't end up playing my sophomore year. I got cleared at the 9-month mark, and I was going to end up playing. And then I happened to break my hand literally the day I got cleared, and I came back for practice. And so, I mean, I've been through it, and it was definitely an experience, but it was also a helpful one too, because your body gets tired. I mean, I was constantly tired trying to rehab and just feel like I was doing the same thing over and over, but it's like I had to learn how to fire different muscles again. I mean, it wasn't just how it used to be. So,
Laney, you haven't had surgery yet, right? You're still
no.
Okay. You're still going to have the surgery on that
Yeah.
knee. So to Erik's point, you've got to run. You mentioned fire, run, plants, the good base at the plate. It's not easy doing that with the torn ACL, man. It's not. So a lot of people could not power through that. And I think that's what Erik, man, how'd you power through it? And you did. You had a great year, top 10 in the conference in hitting. So, you played very well your graduate season. Now, I reached out to the legendary Doc Elder, who's my colleague at Eastern New Mexico and a very good friend. Yeah. And one of the best men you could ever meet in your life. One of the most humble, egoless announcers I've ever met. And he's also a history teacher there. And this is what he said. He said, I've never seen a player improve as much as Laney did at Eastern New Mexico. She made herself into one of the best hitters in the Lone Star Conference through hard work and mental preparation. She excelled off the field as well, making her a true example of a student athlete. So I thought that was great from he's a great guy. I think the world of him. So Toni, we're going to move on to you. Toni, you played in 50 of 55 games. You finished with 7 home runs and 27 RBIs, and you were named to the Lone Star Conference third team. Tell us about the adjustments playing. You played at La Cueva, and you played with Coach Romero over there, and you guys, along with Addison Byers, who's a freshman over there at Western with you. Tell us about the adjustment playing from high school to college softball. You played a lot more games in college.
Yes, we do. I would say the biggest adjustment was definitely the speed of the game, knowing our time and our distance. We here at Western, we determine runners of a 1, 2, and 3 runner. We will practice that all the time in practice with Coach Young, telling us to have the time going in our head and know our time and distance. even seeing Laney play through this conference, it was a different ballgame coming into actually playing it. So knowing the time and distance, and also growing mentally was a big thing. I mean, like we had our struggles with it throughout the season as a team. Like we let moments get too big. But I did see improvement from all of us, I would say, throughout the year. Now it's just time that we grow up even more. Like we are a very young core. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's up? I was there for a lot of that. I saw a lot of that. Saw a lot of growth, and talking to Coach Young and Coach Hickman, Coach Ashley Hickman, Jeff Young, they do a great job out there at Western. And yeah, you mentioned the challenges, the growth, outstanding freshman class of you and Abby Marcus, Lauren Carbajal, Addison Byers, Juliana Wilson. They're all it's an outstanding freshman class, and everyone's going to come back. And as we mentioned, Tony, it was a long season. We mentioned Western New Mexico had several outstanding young players and reached double-figure wins for the first time in a decade. And so there's a lot of, I think, hope for next season. What are your plans for the summer? Your mom had mentioned you just kind of want to unwind, and but I got to say this though, that Coach Young said it and Coach Hickman said it too. You're always studying film. It's not like you ever turn off. I saw you in the outfield one time when we kind of struggled, and I saw you out there kind of. And I told you afterward, I said, hey, I know you're harder on yourself than anybody is. You are. Your mom says that too. So what are your plans for the summer to just kind of work on your game, and what are your plans?
The first plan is very crucial that we do it as a team is honestly taking a break. We needed to put the bats down, put the gloves down, put the ball down, enjoy being a kid, enjoy our small victories that we had throughout the year. I mean, it was a stepping ground for all of us. Like you said, most wins in a decade. Our coaches are very, very keen on recovery and getting strong. So, I mean, they want us to take a break from this game since we play it year round. But come end of May is when we'll start picking that up again, and it's knowing what we struggled with throughout the year. I mean, like I hit a hard point with hitting on the second round of our side of the conference. Knowing how teams are going to attack me, like you said, watching film, I study pitchers, I study the fielders, I study the coaches' tendencies of what they may do on, say, like a 2-strike account or something like that. Definitely growing with a softball IQ in this game, and honestly just being prepared for anything next year. Like anything can happen. Anyone can go somewhere from the portal or recruiting. Mainly our coaches want us to grow within ourselves mentally, like we said. And the first step in that is acknowledging that we need a break, and it's okay to put it down.
You know what? And that says a lot for you, because and same thing with Laney. I can already tell you guys kind of approach the game the same way mentally. And sometimes it's hard to turn that off. Coach Young said that. You're one of the first to always say, hey, where's the film? I need to watch. And sometimes you mentioned you hit that wall. I saw you hit that wall, in some games, and you adjusted though. At the end of the year, you came back, but I think you're right. Now it's time to unwind, have fun, man, relax, right? That's what the summer's for. It's a game that I always say we play the game. Once we stop having fun playing the game, it becomes a job. And so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. Go ahead, Erik.
Yeah, well, speaking of breaks, Laney, your senior year of high school at El Dorado, you had to unfortunately take a break due to COVID. Missed out on that, and then you had some restrictions heading in to your freshman year at Eastern. Can you talk about those seasons? And I mean, the restrictions got to be tough to deal with, and obviously you don't want anybody to go through that and have to miss out on an entire season. But talk us through how that all went down.
Oh man, what a time! I felt like that was so long ago. Well, basically, I mean, senior year kind of went on. I mean, I had the basketball season, which is great. I mean, it didn't end how I wanted to, but I mean, I finished out the 4 years of basketball, and we got right into softball, and I think we ended up playing 2 games, and then we were getting ready to start our 3rd game, and it was about to start Metro, and our AD came up to the field and was like, no, like, we're done, we're shut down. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, they're only talking 2 weeks. Like, no, like, this happened for the whole summer. Like, I didn't have a graduation. It was like online. It was like an online presentation thing. Like they showed your name and like a picture of you and then like something you had said, and that was it. I mean, I drove through the parking lot at school and ended up getting like my diploma and like my athlete of the year award, like all my plaque stuff. I mean, it was definitely weird. It felt really weird to me. I mean, I was not used to kind of just sitting at home and just like not doing anything. Like they froze grades. I mean, at the time that I had really good grades, so I had no like work to do. So I mean, I'd sit there and it was just to me it was super weird. Like I never just like stopped. Like it was weird. And then like at the time, like during the summer, I got to play a little bit of club softball. We would travel though, like out of state, but we'd have to like wear masks, like wherever we'd go. I mean, on the field it was okay, but like it was just like kind of the rules just didn't make sense to me because it'd be like, okay, we can't be within 6 feet, but we're in a dugout full of girls and coaches, and it's just like it was weird. I mean, we never like at the end of the games we wouldn't go like shake hands or whatever. It was just like across the field, like thank you, whatever. And then fall semester of 20, I stayed at home. I kind of just worked my butt off, honestly. Like things were starting to slowly open up, but not really. Um, Gym wise, I mean, me and Tony had gone to one of our hitting coach's gym. I mean, it was just us two in there with him, and we would just kind of do our workout, wash up everything, and then leave. I mean, it was weird. I mean, hitting wise, we kind of just stuck to the old fashioned. Like what we used to do is go to the park and just get a bucket of balls and start swinging. Like it was definitely an experience for sure. And then when they said that we were allowed to go back for the spring, I was like, oh, awesome. Like, and then they were like, we're having a season. So it was definitely an experience for sure, because at the time I was like, okay, great. Like 2 weeks off, like I can get ready. And then, things will be back to normal. And then it just like, everything just seemed so like bad. Like it was terrible. Like, I don't know how like I went through it, but I did. I mean, it was definitely something. I mean, me and Tony were so like used to just going outside or going places and just like doing things, like whether it was softball or whether it was just like going outside, whatever. And it was just like you couldn't even do that. Like it was definitely an experience though, for sure. And like honestly, I kind of look back at it and I kind of I wish I went in maybe a different way, maybe to a JUCO. But at the time, I mean, I was already committed to Eastern, so I mean, and the time went great. At the time, it was weird, but ending it, I think it was definitely an experience, though, for sure.
I think it's kind of crazy. It seems so long ago, it really does. And I remember calling games for ProView Networks, and we actually called championship games with the gym empty. I remember that. I couldn't even go in to Santa Ana Star Center until the other announcer left. It was the weirdest thing. So eerie. You just heard the ball bouncing and some players on the far side, whatever they were saying. It's the weirdest experience. So you actually had to go through that, and real sorry to hear that, about the graduation. That sucked. It really did. Laney, you were also the El Dorado Athlete of the Year in 2019 and 2020. You also played 4 years of varsity basketball, earning all district. You played for my good friend Rich Harbin. Tell us about playing. I told you, Rich is one of the most hard-nosed people. We used to play hoop against each other. I played at Highland. He played at Del Norte. And we played at UNM against each other a lot. And we almost would throw blows every time, man. We all seriously. And then finally we just got over that. And, we're really good friends now. Yeah. But tell us a little bit about playing for Rich.
It was great, honestly. Like, I was definitely worried and nervous at first because I was like, I had heard some things and I was like, I'm like terrified. I was low-key scared, honestly. But I mean, he was great. I mean, he got us in shape real fast. I mean, the way he taught everything, and just like the coaching staff he brought on, Coach Crum. I mean, that guy was my man for sure. I mean, he was so good about like talking to me. Like, I'm hard on myself. I mean, you can see it with Tony. I mean, I don't think I ever let a game down with basketball. I think basketball, I was more like Tony. Like, I would just be watching film. Like, I broke down film. I broke down things. So I just get so frustrated with it. But to me, it made more sense to me because it was so fast. It was back and forth, back and forth. Man, Coach Harbin, I mean, he taught us a lot of things. I mean, not just from a basketball standpoint, but also from like a personal standpoint. Like, I mean, he would talk to us about like his daughters, like, and how he's raised them and everything like that. And like, to me at the time, he was just that type of guy that was just like, okay, like, I'm going to whoop your guys' butt in basketball, and like, we're going to get you guys in shape, and we're going to do this. We're going to, like, to win. And at times it was like, okay, maybe this is crazy, and like I don't know, like I wasn't used to it, but I mean, he taught me a lot, and just like being a person, and like just kind of just being me. I mean, he was very like particular about how I was, and I mean, we talked a lot. I mean, we kind of would figure things out, and we just kind of look at them from a different perspective point with him. I mean, he saw the game differently, and I mean, it was great. Like just kind of understanding from how he saw it to, having Coach Garcia at the time too, who was also in one of our assistants. I mean, she played under him, like so she understand like what we needed to do. I mean, she broke everything down from a guard standpoint, and I mean, watching him kind of just like do his thing and like changing El Dorado basketball for a little bit was great. I mean, at the time, it was hard because basketball was my thing. So I was excited to play basketball under Warren at the time, going into my freshman year. And then, whatever went down with that. And then Coach Harbin came in my second year, and like he really turned things around, at least from that standpoint. And it was weird to me because like I had seen my cousin play like at Sandia like long time ago. I mean, she was one of the best from Sandia under Coach Kabbalah, and like kind of learning from her and just like kind of putting in different perspective with other coaches and just kind of just being me and just wanting to play. I mean, it was different, but it was great. Like it was a great experience with Coach Harbin though overall.
I got to tell you, I reached it. He just was named the new girls coach at Atrisco.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got a big challenge there. But this is a quote he gave me about you. Laney was the type of player that every coach wants to coach, hardworking, invested in getting better, coachable, great teammate, extremely talented and smart, but she was a better person than her amazing talents that she possessed as a coach. You never forget the ladies of the world, and she made a wonderful impact on my life as a person and a coach. And it sounds like he made one on yours.
Yeah, he did.
So, that's a great answer there. Toni, same question for you. You played, for Coach Kogan basketball at La Cueva, and you were also a two-time academic. You're on the two-time academic all academic team there in the district. You also earned honorable mention and some all-district honors. What was it like to play? You're a tough player. I called some of your games. I broadcast some of your games. What was it like to play for Coach Kogan's done a good job there. Taking over for Robert Perea a couple years ago, and she's made her own mark on that program, her own stamp. You were a tough player. What was it like to play for her?
It was definitely a new experience for me. I mean, in high school, I really did not want to play basketball much. I mainly wanted to focus on softball, but it was a good break to have in between seasons. And I was afraid to go in at first, especially because my freshman year, Coach Perea was there, and I had been called up for one game on varsity. I was absolutely terrified because I did not know much of Coach Perea personally. I had been around him at practices, but I hadn't gotten a chance to play for him. And then come sophomore year when, we had Riley and Jersey and them graduated, Coach Moose was like, it's your time to step up and enjoy this varsity level. And she definitely changed the game for me. I didn't see it the way Laney saw it. I saw the softball field better than I did the basketball court. I was never one that created something. I never felt comfortable having the ball in my hands. Coach Moose gave me that feeling of confidence and mainly shooting and defense. That was my priorities when it came to basketball. I did not want to risk an injury driving to the lane. I had seen Laney go and get bulldozed sometimes, and I was like, no, I am not doing that. But Coach Moose always talked about us being fearless, and it really shows. She took any challenge we ever gave her. We had lifting challenges, we did shooting challenges. There was times in class when she needed to give us a final, and we were just shooting half-court shots, messing around, and we did an over and under. That was our final of me and Eva shooting half-court shots of 5 shots over or under. So Coach Moose definitely showed us the fearless side and gave us confidence, but she also showed us it's a game and it doesn't define us.
I got a quote called her. I know Coach Kogan too, and she was kind enough to text me a quote about you. It's been awesome to follow her first year of college softball. She was a fun kid to coach because of 2 big things: She was an athlete. She could have played college basketball, but she didn't choose softball. So, she thought she definitely could have played college basketball. But softball was her favorite sport, and she knew she was going to college for that. But she played basketball like that was her favorite, left it all on the court for her teammates. So, she had a lot of respect. And you were a good player. Yeah, but I can understand, softball was the number one thing, but you can't hold back either. You've got that. You and your sister both are terror competitors, man. You're not right. No quarter, man. Playing to win, right? And you get hurt sometimes. Those things happen. Laney got hurt, and she played on a torn ACL. I mean, I don't know many people that could do that. That tells me a lot about both of you. Erik, go ahead.
Yeah, switching gears a little bit, I think it's pretty obvious for both of you guys that you've excelled on the field, in the court, but in the classroom, academically. I mean, as far back as high school and now into college. Laney, you made the Dean's List 7 out of the 8 semesters while you were there, and then Toni, you made the Lone Star Commissioner's honor roll as a freshman. 2 questions here. I'm going to start with Toni, but tell us what your academic achievement or your achievements mean to you, and how much did your parents have a play in that?
Well, Laney, I would say this actually pertains to Laney and me. We were freaking out anytime, honestly, we had anything below a B. Actually, like there was a time I think Laney was in high school. I don't know what class it was, but she had been struggling with it and she was freaking out. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like her grade it has to be like so low. And I was like, that is so out of the norm. And she's like, it's an 88. I was like, what? And then during high school, I'm not a science person, but I put the work in to pass those classes and I was freaking out. And my parents actually, like my dad, he completely trusted us. He was like, I trust you to talk to teachers, talk to tutors. He never had to worry with us. My mom, I remember when we were little and it was in like the summer and we had little books from like Costco that we needed to fill out with like the letters or like drawings or something. And if we did not do that, we heard it at the end of the day. So academics was a big priority to me and Laney. Even here at Western, like all of our high school teachers would always be like, they're not going to hold your hand and walk you to class. Like it's up to you to go to class. And it shows because like even Coach Hickman, Coach Young, and Coach Polanco, like we have academic coaches. We're meeting with them every other week. And if our grades fall or something like that, we owe an explanation or we need to reach out to our professors. So honestly, taking the responsibility to keep our academics up was a big role. Like I said, our parents, they honestly stopped mainly worrying about us in high school. And if we needed help, they figured it out for us, but the majority of the time didn't have to. Laney and me took that on us to know that the main reason we're going to school is to get an education. Like we're playing softball, that's a bonus, but we're here for an education.
Laney, the same question to you. What does the academic achievements mean to you, and how much of that can you attribute to your parents?
Academics is really big to me. I mean, like I'm not more of like a kind of going out type of person. I mean, in high school, I don't really think I went out. Like high school, I was like, I'd get up, I go to class, and then I'm at the gym for the rest of the day, and then come home and I'm doing homework or I got softball. I mean, academics was huge. I mean, at the end of the day, like Toni had said, I mean, we're there for an education. I mean, getting a job, especially now, I mean, society's been changing, and especially for like on a female standpoint, like if you don't have that paper, it's like it doesn't mean anything. Like it doesn't mean whether you have skill or not. Like at the end of the day, like having that paper is huge. And I mean, my parents, they like my dad was one of like, okay, you guys got it. Like I'm not worried. My mom really like grind that into our brains. Like when we were young, like when we started off young, I mean, she'd be like, if you don't finish your homework, you're not going to play, and you sit at the game, but you're not going to play. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to play. So it was big. I mean, even my grandparents, like when we'd come home from school, me and Toni our grandparents would pick us up. They're like, if you don't get your homework done, like you're not leaving the table till you do. And it's like, at times, like when I first started, I wasn't really big. Like I was like, whatever. Like middle school, I was like, it's just grades. Like it didn't matter to me. But then when there's like something that you want, like, okay, from a sports standpoint, like if you want to play and you don't have the grades, like you can't play. And that was me. Like once I found that out about like found that out, it was definitely like, okay, like I need to do this, and then if I don't, like I'm not playing. And I hated sitting out. Like that's one thing that you will never see me do is sit out, like especially for grades. Like, but definitely having an education is huge, and like I see it now for me. I mean, for what I'm doing, it's definitely something that is needed now.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So of this question for both of you. Your mother Lydia celebrated a double nickel yesterday. Happy birthday to her. Your dad Mike's a big supporter of what you do too. But I saw your mother Lydia at a lot of the Silver City, and was able to catch her games either in Silver City or Portales. And your dad too was on her tablet watching one, and then watching one in person, and then keeping up with the other online. When she couldn't be there, she had a special jersey made, half Western and half Eastern, and I love that. What did it mean to have her and your dad's support? That's huge, man. Because your mom said this. I got something to read about this in a minute here. It's a talent to be able to watch people. She mentioned that, made me laugh. But what did it mean to have her and your dad's support? I mean, every time she's asking me sometimes if I'm she's at Eastern, she's asking me how's Toni doing at Western. So Toni, first, what did it mean to have your parents' great support, as you guys go through this journey?
I mean, it was powerful. I mean, there's no greater bond than family. My parents have done everything. They've sacrificed a lot to get Laney and me where we are, and like we put the work in. It's not like it came easy. But they're still living their lives of going to work. My mom doing stuff at UNM, like my dad doing what he does, and they've taught us different lessons in life. Like my mom shows it's okay to show emotion, and it's okay to care, and it's okay to play this game, like even learning through the failure. And then like I am like my dad. I will be hardcore. I will not take anything. I learned a long time ago from him that he's not a very emotional person. And I love him to death. I love both my parents to death, but they have very much resembled, or Laney and me have very much resembled them. And I could not be happier with their support. The shirt, I absolutely loved it. I mean, my mom had two of them made, one with my number on the back, one with Laney's number on the back, and then for Christmas, that was her surprise, was the shoes. Like we got her a pair of green shoes. We got her a pair of purple shoes. Honestly, I think she was more excited for our games than me and Laney were. Like Laney and me were, talking a little bit of smack between each other of, like let's battle or whatever. But my dad, he was not one, like I said, to show emotion, but I saw the emotion out of both of them that day, and it was honestly a blessing to have.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Laney, did we ask you about your what you thought? We did, right? Did we about your parents' support? Did we ask?
No.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It was definitely, I don't even know. It was amazing. I mean, I feel like I have both my mom and dad. I'm not one that's like super like hardcore. I mean, that's more Toni. I do show a little bit more emotion, and like I do tend to be a little bit kind of more on the soft side, but it was huge to me, especially. I mean, they've seen me play at Eastern for going on, this would be the 5th year. I mean, they've seen me here forever. And I think that chance to see both their kids in like a live game in a like one of the toughest D2 conferences, I mean, I think to them it was just like, it was the dream. I mean, ever since we were younger, I mean, my dad taught us how to be strong. I mean, having a male coach as your first coach growing up was so hard. There were some days like I couldn't stand it. But it taught me a lot. Like it taught me, I mean, we were raised as boys. I mean, playing ball, like that's all we want to do. My mom told us the same. I mean, like she was just like big about like us playing. Like she didn't want us to just sit there at home. I mean, which is huge. Like, because there's just like too many things now that like would be so like emotionally draining to me. Like if I wasn't playing sports, I mean, yeah, sports was like, oh, it's physical draining. Like to me, it was the excitement. But I mean, having them there was huge. I mean, it for me, and playing and having them there too, like it was like the dream come true. Like it was what I was looking forward to all year. Like not even just playing like for Eastern, which is huge, like too, like I loved it, especially for my last year, but playing against my sister, like I watched this kid grow up. Like I watched her like annoy me when I was younger and I was just like, oh my gosh, go away. But then like now I'm just like, wow, like you're like literally like if we were to compare like ages now, I mean she has me beat by a mile at least. But it was huge having our parents there and just kind of being our rock, like having us on both ends of the state. I mean, on the east side and the west side, it was definitely something for them. I mean, they weren't used to having us both gone. It was normally just me, and then like having us both gone for the first time, it was definitely something. But having them both there too was huge.
No, it had to do been. I need to mention this. Your mother Lydia played volleyball and softball at St. Pius, and your dad a part of a state baseball championship at Pius in 1988. Had a pretty good team too.
Yeah.
I remember some of the guys on that. Your mom, though, talk about a blessing for their dad and I to watch them follow their dreams. Their dad coached them to a certain age, handed them off to other coaches to help them further excel. I was always on the sideline watching them, good, bad, happy, sad. Mom was always there. As you saw me in silver, if I was watching one in person, I had the other on my tablet. I couldn't travel to where they played. I had two tablets up and running. Almost never failed. They played at the same time. It's a talent to watch both. And so every morning the girls and I said, good morning, love you. But one thing I added to theirs a year ago was to do you. College sports are a full-time job. Try to reassure them they can do anything. And then I'm always right there with them. Just by, you mentioned that your dad, I'm sure, is there in different ways. So I wanted to mention that. Your mom is a big-time supporter. So is your father. Go ahead, Erik.
Yeah, we'll jump over to questions we're going to start with Toni. Laney's 3 years older than you are. So you kind of grew up watching her games. What about that kind of lit a competitive spirit in you? And what did you take away from learning from your older sister compete that you kind of emulate now in your game?
I'd say the first thing is Laney's mentality. Laney's mentality is in the game, she has no limit. No one will stop her. The only person that would stop her would be herself. I mean, like you said, we're very hard players on ourselves. Seeing Laney go through like softball, I had been amazed. Like Laney was making plays, and I at that point didn't fully understand the sport of being so young. And there's pictures of me honestly just standing in the outfield looking lost, and Laney's in the infield like making plays, and I'm like, okay. But growing up and learning this sport of softball and even basketball, Laney never let anyone stop her. Like she ran through a brick wall half the time. She faced even facing the injuries, like she had a couple of not injuries, but like hurt body parts in basketball and in softball in high school, and nothing ever stopped her. Laney never sat out. Laney never gave anyone a reason to make her sit out. I mean, she led her team, and seeing that growing up kind of built the leader in me. And it was actually hard at first coming to Western to be that leader and be fearless like she was, especially in this conference. But eventually, knowing that I had seen Laney do it gave me the confidence to know I could do it. And, of course, the help with Coach Hickman, Coach Young, and Coach Polanco. Laney gave me a stepping ground to know what a college career could look like an injury or different coaches or COVID. It's like she had faced, honestly, all the unpredictable, and it never stopped her. She never wanted to stop this game. Like, even after the postseason conference, she was not ready to put the cleats up. And Laney's mentality never changed. Like, even if she hit a hard point on hitting, she had known it wasn't anything mechanic wise. It was something in the mind. Like we here at Western talk about being in emotional control and what that can do. Laney never really showed being out of emotional control. You can tell if she had just gone 0 for 3 at the plate, because on the field, she looked like she was going 3 for 3. So.
You mentioned that, Toni, about leadership. there was a time earlier in the year that I saw that you called a timeout, got all the infield together, all the out. I think you're already showing signs of being that leader, even as a freshman. Got a couple more questions and we'll wrap it up. But I do have one thing for you, Toni, from Coach Ron Romero. I reached out to him too. I have a couple things we shared as a team. 1 in 15 and LUG. 1 in 15 meaning you do your job. 1 of the 15 players on the team, and LUG is what we told them how we felt them about the team. Love you guys. So he said you would understand that, and
Yeah.
he seems very, very. So that was from Coach Ron Romero, your coach at La Cueva. When Eastern played Western earlier this year in Silver City, Laney, you slid into second. Toni was covering on the bag. You were safe. There was a conversation that ensued that Manny got a big kick out of. What was said? I mean, I'm laughing up. I'm laughing. I'm calling the game, and you guys are having a little conversation, and it's funny, but nobody knows what was said. Can you tell us? Can you tell us what was said?
I slid in. She tagged me, and I kind of got up, and I was like, good tag. I was like, but not fast enough, or something like that. And then she threw the ball back, and she was like, that was a strike. And I was like, hey man, I couldn't tell you the strike zone because you called one of my shins, and then the next one was right there. So, but we didn't really argue about it, but it was kind of like the funny joke that we had. It was just that's what we talk about. Like when I slid in there again, I think at Eastern, I think we started talking some smack too, but it was just I think I told her, I was like, well, I'm 2 for 2 on stolen bases, because that was one thing, well, not comparable, but it was just she was trying to keep up with my stats. So I think that's where kind of told her, I was like, I'm 2 for 2, man. I don't know what to tell you.
No, it's funny, because we were up in the booth. Everybody's laughing. They're not quite sure what you guys were saying, but just a little sisterly smack talk. Nothing big, man. Nobody hurt, right? Toni, can you tell us about the letter you wrote Laney for her senior day and the special gift you gave her?
So I wrote Laney a letter, obviously, and the original plan was to actually have them read it when Laney was announced on senior day. She was not supposed to read it the night before, but it got miscommunication between Coach Weevil and Coach Hickman. But you know what? I'm still grateful that I was able to get it to her. The letter had basically told Laney it was a thank you letter, and it was a proud sister moment to see everything she had gone through in college. And I wanted her to look around and see everything she had done and accomplished at Eastern. She has graduated with her bachelor's. She will graduate with her master's, and then she's taking that next step in life. And honestly, it's hard to imagine a life without sports, or playing sports at least. And I wanted her to know I would be with her in some way, because that weekend I was at home and I believe we were playing Angelo, and the second we finished our games, I turned on Easterns because I wanted to see Laney's last time playing on the Greyhound field. And then I had left one last saying between me and Laney. We had always said before games, hasta el fuego, and we always said I love you always and forever. But the part of my dad came out, and he had showed us the Bad Boy movies. So me and Laney had always said, we ride together, we die together, bad boys for life. So I wanted Laney to know that we would always be together, even with her taking this next step. And then the gift was a collage of pictures. I was not a fan of taking pictures growing up, and Laney was. She never argued with my mom. I did, but I am very grateful my mom took all those pictures, because I actually had Addison Byers' mom make a collage for me, because we had just got off the road traveling and I was not going to get the pictures in time to put together and send to Portales. So it was a group effort. Thank you to everyone that helped. And it was hard to keep it away from my parents too, because it was supposed to be a genuine surprise for her on her senior day.
Yeah, I'd say a great story. Your mom was your mom was the one that asked me to ask that, because I wouldn't have known. So I think that's real touching. Erik's got one last question. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, this one's for Laney. Now that your softball career in college has concluded, you now get to be more of a spectator for your sister. What about her career in your mind? Where do you think she's headed, and how do you plan on supporting her as she completes her journey?
Oof. I think she's gonna turn out to be one of the best, at least in this conference. I mean, if she chooses to transfer, I mean, all props to her. I mean, I give it to her. I mean, she could really do it. She looks comfortable where she is. I mean, she looks in a place that, I think after seeing her this year and how she did as a freshman, I was already amazed. I mean, just kind of seeing it, like the stats. I mean, even if I wasn't playing and she was, like, I'd always turn the games on, just to see her play. It's big to me because I was like, to me, it was like, I raised her in the way of sports. I mean, yeah, our parents were there, but it was always, she'd pick up little things from me here and there. And I think seeing how I was this year kind of translate into her, like, at the same time, it was just like, it was mind blowing. And like now, I think with me being done, I mean, she doesn't have like that shadow to really live under. And I think that was one of the biggest things is that she's learned so much from me, and she's always been seen as, oh, like, you're Laney's sister. And like now it's like, now that I'm done, it's like more of like, okay, well, now you get to be Toni. Like, you just get to be Toni. You don't have to worry about nothing else. I mean, and I think that's a huge part on her end. I think she's going to thrive in every aspect. I mean, she's a great defender, double way. I mean, infield, outfield, you put her anywhere. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's a true utility player if you really needed it. And she could catch. Pitching, maybe not, but catching for sure. She could be that way. I mean, hitting, she's a double threat. I mean, we learned from when we were younger. I mean, yeah, it was just about hitting. And like, to me, I was a double threat going from bunting to being a power hitter. I mean, as a leadoff, it was different. Like, especially in college, I never realized how much of like that could really affect the game, like in your own like stats too. I mean, that was a huge part of my life this year, was just being a double way, a bunter, and a power hitter. And I think she's picked up a lot on that just from my point of view. I mean, seeing her when I played them against West, like playing at Eastern and playing at Western, the 4 games this year, it was definitely something, kind of seeing her just kind of be herself. I mean, even against like the high teams, I mean, the best team in conference, Tyler, I mean, she put them to shame. I mean, not a lot of people expect a freshman to go yard off one of your best pitchers. I mean, them, Angelo, Lubbock. I mean, she's made her mark in this conference already, and I think these next 3 years they're just gonna blow up. I mean, she's special, and it's gonna be great seeing her. From my point of view, for supporting her, I mean, I'm gonna do what I can. I do move out to Dallas at the end of this year to start my doctorate, so it's gonna be kind of hard seeing them. But with UT Dallas coming in, I'm kind of excited that they will be able to go over there, and I'll get to see her for sure.
Well, you know what, Laney, you can always tune in to Mustang Radio, or watch us online, man. So
Yeah.
you can always keep abreast of what's happening there. Ladies, I'll tell you what, Toni Lucero, Western New Mexico infielder, Laney Lucero, Eastern New Mexico outfielder, sisters. Been great having you on. We sure appreciate you joining us. You guys have a great story to tell, and there's that sisterly, and Toni, you mentioned it, that bond that'll never go away. And your mom and dad, being athletes themselves. There's your dad. Thanks, Dad, for putting this for our daughter's dream come true for me. Thank you, sir. So that's from your dad, Mike, who I'm sure I've seen somewhere before.
Yeah.
Being around sports. And then there's John Romero. John is one of our big fans. What a neat feature on the Lucero sisters. Thank you for doing. Wish you continued success. Question. Oh, this is a good one. Which one of you has hit the longest home run? This is which one? That's a good question. Toni, 7 bombs. Laney, 8 bombs. Which one of you hit the longest bomb?
I think it'd probably be Laney's, because Laney, Portales' field is a little bit bigger than ours. No bias or anything. I mean, I prefer my field a lot better than my colors, but I think it would have to be Laney's. I don't remember. I think it was her UTPB or
I think it was
someone else.
Kingsville. It was my Kingsville Grand Slam this year.
Yes, I was like, you saw that
word.
off the bat, and I was like,
Yeah.
Laney, did you hit a bomb against us at Silver City? I thought you did.
yes,
I did on the second pitch.
As a matter of fact, I said it when you hit it. I was like, "See you later." I knew that was gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a shot. That was a definite shot. But as we mentioned, Erik, do you have any more questions for the Lucero sisters? So proud of our amazing nieces from Curtis Broadnecks. Love you to pieces. So you got some family love here, and I'm sure your mom is very proud. Erik, do you have any more questions? You know what? I'll tell you what, Laney. You look just like her to me. And Toni, you resemble her too. That is your mother. It's, after all, there's genetics are very powerful there. Erik, do you have any more questions for our guests on Deep in the Dugout?
Just congratulations to you both. You make your parents very proud, from what we can tell. And this is kind of the reason we put this platform together. And Ed's done a really good job, along with his son Nick, of highlighting New Mexico-based athletes, not only high school athletes, but we're featuring college athletes and kind of covering corner to corner of the state. So congratulations again, and good luck with your doctorate, and good luck with your next few seasons coming up at Western. We'll be paying close attention.
Yes, we definitely will. You know, I think Western, we mentioned that, Toni, you know, we've got a great lineup coming back, and you know, Coach, thank you, Ed. Appreciate you recognizing the girls from your mother. Nothing like your mom, man. You know, I say that. You know, my little granddaughter, she loves me to death, but Buella's different, man. Grandma's different. You know, she loves me. My little granddaughter loves me, but Buella is Buella, man. And I understand that. Laney and Toni, I'm so proud of you both. Such amazing talents. So lucky to be your aunt, getting to see you grow to be such smart, amazing women. Love you both. And I think the support you have from your family, man, that's important. You know, it really is. Therefore, your mom said that for every pitch, for every scratch, who's there, man? Who do you go to? You know, again, Mike, your dad has got some. Your dad sounds like a tough dude too, man. Laney, you mentioned that the tough love, right? I coach my son. I think I coached him in basketball. Nobody made me more mad than he did, man. He broadcasts with us now. He's on the pit press, and nobody loves him more than me. I'm very proud of him. But it's got to be that tough love, and I think it helps. It helps you academically. It helps you on the field. And Toni, I think one thing that I love to hear you say, you're here for an education. That's, you know, it's fun, right? I see you in the field, man. You're the vacuum at shortstop, right? I watched you how many at bats at Western, a bunch. You're a heck of a darn good player. But you know what the final thing is. It's about academics, man. That's what I told my son when I sent him to Pius. You're not here to be a basketball star. You're here to get a dang education. We're not paying that kind of money for that. You know, so I'm proud to say he works for the Department of Justice. It paid off. It paid off. You know, he did it on his own, but it paid off. And I think all the people you have in your life have definitely led you to where you are today, both of you. Laney Lucero, outfielder for Eastern New Mexico All-Conference First Team. Toni Lucero, freshman infielder for Western New Mexico Third Team All-Conference. We sure appreciate you joining us tonight on Deep in the Dugout. We enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all for having us. I mean, it's been a blessing this year, you know, and we'll continue to grow. And one last thing is, you know, at Western, we focus on our mental health. So, you know, take the time checking on those that you love. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So enjoy all the love and check on your people.
You know what? Great message, Toni. I think sometimes we forget that, you know, that and the game, sometimes I saw you, but, you know, I know athletes, man. I know, I've been around it. And I know, so you, like I told you, you're harder on yourself than anyone, but that's a good message. It's a game, and it's time this summer, have fun, unwind, be a kid. That's what you are. So enjoy it. For my producer, Erik Moulton, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next time on Deep in the Dugout.
At a time when every dollar counts, Capital Ford in Santa Fe is stepping up and offering employee pricing for everyone. Yes, employee pricing for everyone is now available on new Fords. You pay what Ford employees pay. Employee pricing means save up to $9,000 off MSRP on a new 25 Ford F-150, or save up to $4,800 off, plus 3.9% APR on a new 24 Ford Bronco. From America, for America.